The day you almost quit is usually not dramatic. It's not a movie scene with thunder and violins. It's 4:37 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're standing in the barn aisle. Your back hurts. The vet bill just came in. A client texted to quote, hold the check till Friday. And you catch yourself thinking a sentence you never thought you'd think. Maybe I should just be done with this. I had that day. And if you've even clicked this video, you've probably had your version of it too. I want to walk you through what was really happening that day. And this is for most of my clients, thousands and hundreds that I've worked with, and why they didn't quit. Not so you can copy their step by step, but so you can see what's possible inside your own life and horse business when you understand why it feels this way. Because almost quitting horses is not about hating horses, it's about the story and math you're living inside. On my day, nothing huge happened. No fire, no catastrophic injury, no lawsuit. It was just one more bill I couldn't ignore, one more long day where I ate whatever was left after everyone else got fed horses, farrier, vet, clients, the hay guy. And it hit me. I had built a life where I was last in line in the thing I loved most. And that's the real engine behind the I think I'm done thought. It's not that you don't love horses anymore. It's that you can't see a version of this where you're loving them that doesn't cost you everything. So your brain offers you two options. Keep doing this and slowly grind yourself into dust. Sell everything, walk away, and carry that quiet grief for the rest of your life. But feel like losing. What no one ever told me is there's a third option. Not push through and hope, not burn it all down. Third option is change what this life is for you before you decide whether you're quitting it. Here's what I mean. On that day, if you asked me, what is this barn for? What is this horse business for? I would have said something noble for the horses, for the kids, for the community, for keeping good care in the neighborhood. It sounds nice, but functionally, what my horse business was for was absorbing infinite work and money without ever taking care of me. And that's the deal most horse people accidentally sign. You become the shock absorber for every rising cost, every late payment, every broke fence board, every last minute change. You feel proud of how much you can carry until the day your body, your bank account, or your brain just taps out. So when I say change what this life is for, here's what I'm talking about. My horse business owners, they had to decide what their work with horses existed to build a life for them too, and not just for everyone around them. And that sounds selfish to people who are already burned out. But look at what Selfless had actually produced a barn that couldn't operate without me being dead half the time, clients who were quietly used to getting more than they paid for, and horses who depended on a human who was one bad month away from disappearing. It's not holy, that's fragile. So the first decision that kept me from quitting was I will not keep doing this the way I'm doing it now, but I'm willing to rebuild why I do it and what this barn is allowed to cost me. Quit the version, not the vocation. The second thing that kept me here was brutal, but freeing. I admitted that my pain was not proof I was failing. It was proof I was playing an infinite game. So every path you choose is going to hurt. Growing hurts, stagnation hurts, declining hurts. The fantasy is that quitting horses gives you a life without pain. It doesn't. It just gives you a life without this meaning. So the real question underneath, should I quit, isn't do I want pain? It's what am I willing to suffer for and become different because of? And on that day, when I imagined selling everything, being free, I also imagine the version of me 10 years later, watching someone else ride a horse that looked like mine at a show I used to go to. And I knew that version of me would look back and say, you had one life where you were allowed to build something with this. You tapped out before you changed the rules. That future disappointment hurt worse than the present one. So I stayed, not because it was easy, but because I decided I would rather suffer rebuilding this correctly than suffer the rest of my life wondering if I could have. The last piece is this. I didn't stay by promising myself it'll all magically be better. I stayed by changing one non-negotiable. If I'm going to keep doing this, horses, this barn has to pay me and protect me enough that I can stay. That one decision changes how you price, how you schedule, who you keep, how quickly you say no. I'm not going to give you the spreadsheet today. That's the how. What matters for you, if you're anywhere near your breaking point, is this: you're allowed to keep horses in your life and demand a different deal from your horse business. Quitting isn't the only way to stop hating your own barn or horse business. Sometimes the move is to almost quit and then refuse to go back to the version of the job that got you there. If this hit uncomfortably close, here's what I want you to do after this: write down on paper, if I keep horses in my life, what must change for this for me to be sustainable? 10 years from now, which pain would I regret more? Rebuilding this differently or walking away forever? Your answer to those two questions will tell you more about whether to quit than any motivational speech I could give you. I almost quit the horse business. What I actually quit was the belief that my only options were martyrdom or escape. You can too.